Okay. Lord, help me, Jesus. Help me to make it one day. I'm in the same shirt as I was yesterday. This is my sleeping shirt. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Chingity Bop's been sick with a fever. But he's better today. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Avalon. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, baby. Say sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do meditation from my bed today. Hold on. Okay. I just got done taking my medicine, so I'm got that caca taste in my mouth. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Mommy, there was a bad Luigi and he just stabbed him and blood comes out the other way.
Oh my God, that's terrible. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, Lisa. I'll go look at it after this.
You're too loud. I can't hear it.
Oh, man, you guys. Good morning, everyone. So, let's take a moment of silence for the still sick and suffering addict. And I'm going to say the serenity prayer, and then we can start our meditation. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. So, you know, I really like the serenity prayer because it talks about the wisdom to know the difference. Like, there's some things, you guys, that we just cannot change. There's some things that we just have to say, you know what? Oh. Good morning, SoberTube. Good morning, Brian. I saw you got a new job. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. You guys, my friend Brian has a channel called SoberTube if you haven't went over there and checked it out yet. But he just got a job working for this place called Soul Surgery Treatment. It's a treatment center in Arizona, I think. He spent like 3 days there hanging out and just learning about the facility. And that's the thing, you guys. Like, there's a way to go and work for a center, but it's like really important to go and like research it and be there with them and see how they treat the patients and see how they are.
Education and learning.
Welcome to Baldy's Education and Learning. Today we're learning about how to stay sober, y'all.
No!
What are we learning about, Baldy? Math?
Yes.
Math. So, he's so smart, y'all. He did so good at school the 2 days that he went because he was sick the last 2 days with a fever. Can you believe it? I knew it was going to happen. Okay, let's get into this meditation. Y'all ready? Here we go. Everyone has two personalities, a good and a bad. We are all dual personalities to some extent. When we were drinking, the bad personality was in control. We did things when we were drunk that we would never do when we were sober. When we sober up, we are different people. Then we wonder how we could have done the things we did. But we drink again and again, and our bad side comes out. So we are back and forth, always in conflict with our other selves, always in a stew. This division of ourselves is not good. We must somehow become unified. We do this by giving ourselves wholeheartedly to AA and to sobriety. Have I become unified? Meditation for the day. Well done. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of the Lord. These words are for many ordinary people whom the world may pass by unrecognizing. Not to the world famed, the proud, the wealthy, are these words spoken, but to the quiet followers who serve the Lord unobtrusively yet faithfully, who bear their crosses bravely and put a smiling face to the world. Enter into the joy of the world. Pass into the fuller spiritual life, which is a life of joy and peace. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may not desire the world's applause. I pray that I may not seek rewards for doing what I believe is right. Okay. What happened, baby?
Fine.
Need help?
This keeps unplugging and I keep. I'm just gonna break this.
No, please don't. Okay, so we're talking about being unified and fighting inside of ourselves. So, and that we have basically two sides to ourselves. We have our good side, the sober side, and then we have the bad side, our drunk or our high side. And, you know, I never thought about it like that, as that I had two different personalities kind of, but it's true because, like, you know how I'm always telling you guys stories about how, like, the things I did in my addiction, you guys, I will not do them now. Like, when I was in my addiction, I did not care. I would go out and I had no values. I had no morals. They were shot. Had all been corrupted. And my desperate need to get high overpowered anything I had ever learned, you know, to not do. So that's why I would put myself in compromising situations, you know, by being around guys and, like, knowing that they had dope and then I could get it if I just kind of, like, flirted with them or whatever. Or going and stealing, like, oops, sorry about that. I would never do those things now that I'm sober, you know. In fact, a lot of those things, they went away right away. Like, when I got sober, I knew that I wasn't going to do those things anymore. But then there were some things that I had to practice not doing. And I had to learn to change those behaviors. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, some of the behaviors that stuck with me from my old addiction past to now are some of these behaviors, and I'll explain it to you. Like, when I was in my addiction, I really, really searched for validation from other people, especially men. And so when I came and got sober, I still searched for validation, only I was searching for it from a broader scale of people. I was searching for it from all sexes. Like, it didn't matter if you were a man or a woman. I just needed you to tell me that I was doing a good job, you know? And when I first started making videos, it almost became like a second addiction for me. And I really had to go through the steps and work with my sponsor about it, because I started making videos and I would get so upset if nobody watched them, or I would be sad if I didn't feel like it helped someone. And now it's just like, you know how I talk to you guys, I'm like, making videos helps me stay sober. Making videos and talking with you guys helps me stay sober. You know, I was talking to my Suboxone doctor Thursday, and I told him, I said, we built a community here. And, you know, I said, it's about 15 people that are in the little community that come on a regular basis, that I see them almost in every live stream. And if they don't make it to the live stream, they come back and watch it, you know? And it helps me because I get excited to see you guys. And then I feel like maybe you get excited to see me. And then we help each other through our hard times, you know? Making me feel unkind, and kindness is so... I know, Jason, and that's another thing, like, the letting go of, like, okay, I was the same way when I was in my addiction. But the reason I was like that is because I had become, like, I had to protect myself out there, you know what I mean? Like, I was homeless, you guys. Like, it was a real struggle for me for a long time. You know I tell you guys a lot of stories about me being in and out of halfway houses, but the last, like, 5 years of my addiction, I was on the streets, back and forth on people's couches. I didn't have a place of my own to live, you know? Neil's parents didn't want me living here, so I had my little apartment, but then I got evicted. I mean, And when I did have my apartment, it was a freaking trap house, you guys. Like, when I tell you that, I'm going to save that for a story time. But the next story time I tell you guys, you're going to cry. Because it was so, it makes me cry just thinking about it. Just thinking about how pathetic I was. And how I had gotten down to the point where I just didn't care. I didn't care, y'all. I didn't care. My addiction, everything I did or said was a lie. And that's important. Like, I feel like what people don't understand is that, you know, if you're being honest, you're not being mean. Telling the truth is not mean. There's a way to deliver it, sure. Like, I totally understand that. You know, but a lot of the times when we're in active addiction or we're getting early in our sobriety, we need to tell somebody to tell us the truth. We need somebody to hold us accountable, because what we'll do, and I'm guilty of it, is manipulate the heck out of a situation and to get our way. And okay, so you remember the other day when me and my sister had that fight, you guys, and I was crying? Well, I could have handled that differently, you know. I hung up on my sister, and I could have called her back and told her I loved her and apologized, but I didn't because I was mad at her. Well, then the next day, my mom called me, and I totally manipulated my mom to feel bad for me. And I know I did, because I felt guilty, because I should have called my sister and told her I loved her no matter what. It just hurt my feelings, you know. And then when my mom was like sticking up for my sister, I got in my feelings, because I thought, like, the background with me, my sister, and my mom is my sister had my mom all these years to herself. My mom helped raise her son, and my mom was always with my sister, taking care of her, because she had bipolar and couldn't take care of herself. And so I was out on the streets in my addiction. So when I got sober, I'm like, my son misses out on time with her because she's in Hot Springs, and it makes me jealous, because I want my mom to be around my son, because she was around Michelle's son all the time, you know. And so I finally, like, just broke down and started crying, and I told her, I said, you know, I'm jealous because Michelle has had you all these years, you know, and I want you to be around my baby. So I want my son to have a relationship with his Nana, you know, and he doesn't have one like he does. My mom has with my nephew. And granted, like, my nephew, he has Asperger's, which is like a form of autism, and he's so smart, you guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with him. He just has social anxiety. Like, he gets along with people that are more grown than him, like us. And but I want my mom to be around my son, because when I was in my addiction, my parents were so focused on my sister Michelle that they kind of lost track of me and my other sister Christine. And so I was out here shooting dope, and my baby sister Christine was out sowing her wild oats, becoming a lesbian. Which my sister was born gay, y'all. Like, I knew she was gay from the day that I was old enough to realize what a lesbian was. Hey, like, literally, I love your name. Hey, girl, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Papa Beth, you got my waterworks going now. Yeah, and y'all, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get you upset, but I want my family to know my son. And I feel like because my sister was struggling with her mental illness, that my parents were really focused on her. And during that time, I was out just roxycodone IV and methamphetamine IV. Yeah, oh, I know. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I miss my mom, and I missed out on so much time with her. because I was in my addiction and she was so focused on my sister. And then, like, now that I'm sober, I want to be able to make up for all that lost time, you know? Um, but then I have to remember, like, my parents can only do so much, and they are stretched three ways, you know? Um, and then I know my dad is so important. My dad is so proud of me, you guys. Like, if y'all are gonna get to meet my dad next week when we go to Thanksgiving, because I'm gonna video us, and you guys are gonna die. You can ask Avalon. My dad looks like, she said, Tony Danza from Who's the Boss. But when I was a little girl and I was like in high school and going to prom and stuff, all my friends were like, will your dad go to the prom with me? And I was like, ugh, you know? But he is just so proud of me. He'll call me. Have you talked to your mom and told her your mom what you're telling us? Share, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm sorry. I lost track of my story that I was telling you guys. So the other day, I don't know what's happening. It's like cutting in and out, guys. I broke down afterward, and I told her I was sorry, and I started crying. I told her about how I felt about Nate and wanting them to have a relationship together. And it's just hard right now because my mom lives in a different part of Arkansas than I do. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I have really bad anxiety driving. And it's not really, I guess I have social anxiety, but not as bad as I have driving anxiety. And the kind of anxiety I have while driving is like, y'all, I would rather drive a whole state across back roads than take the interstate, because it gives me I feel so afraid driving on the interstate, you guys, that I will have a panic attack in the middle of the road. Like, I will stop my car in the middle of the road and let traffic go around. It's just like, it's crazy. It's debilitating. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. And I'm scared to death of driving on the interstate. And I'm scared to death as being the passenger too. If I'm the passenger in someone's car while they're driving on the interstate, I have to look at my phone or read a book. I cannot look at the road. Yeah, I don't care either. I know. And Jason, you know what? Hey, Nikki, you don't have to. And listen, your relationship with your parents, it's going to build, like, you're going to be like, well, it's going to be awesome. Because, listen, here's the deal. When I got sober, my mom and dad were, like, so excited. They were like, come over, let's hang out. And they lived in New York. So they flew me and my husband and my son down there for a summer to spend time with them because they were in New York at the time. See, I don't know if I have told you guys, but my parents moved because of my addiction, because they couldn't watch me kill myself anymore. My dad was about to have a heart attack, y'all. So they picked up and moved to New York. Especially when someone's in. Yeah, I hate it. I cannot handle the road. Oh, hey, Nikki, we were just doing meditation, and then we got to talking about some other stuff in life. Come to grips with the past. I cry even thinking about it. Oh, Leah, you know what? I'm super sensitive, you guys. Like, I really, really am. I know that, and I know you guys know this because y'all see me. I just, like, when I feel something, and I just can't not feel it. And because I feel like for so long I was embarrassed to feel like that or to cry, you know, and I would, like, feel like I had to be stronger. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but my dad's Italian and my mom's Mexican. And I was raised up, like, very prideful and to not show my emotions and to not ask for help and to do things on my own to handle life, you know? And my dad would always just, I don't know how to explain this, but it was just like, you know, get up and brush it off and let's move on to the next, you know? And that's what I tried to do all my life, was to get up, shake it off and move on to the next. And even when I was in my addiction, you guys, like I would lose a job, I would get up, shake it off, and move on to the next job. You know, because I knew I had to have money to work. I had to fund my habit. And I wasn't willing to do, at the beginning, I wasn't willing to do just about anything for drugs yet, you know? So I had to work to keep money in my pockets. But I'm telling you, the last 5 years, I would do anything for dope. And so I would go out and hustle, you know, dudes that had money. I would go out and hang out with old men. That was the worst, y'all. Because it was the worst because it makes me feel horrible. Because I would go and make friends with these older men and just be around them, and they would give me money just to hang out with them. Not even to do anything like bad. Just to be their friend. And it was bad. I feel horrible about that. Horrible. Because these were older men that were on fixed incomes and didn't have much. And I was just a bad person, you guys. Like, I was just a hustler. And I don't like, I feel really bad about that. And I try to, like, when I meet people now that are like that, I try to spend time with them and really be their friend, you know. Like, I see a lot of people when I'm working. And I met this little man named Mr. Junior Willis, and he lives in, I think, South Carolina. And he came into a Walgreens one day, and I was in there working, and he was crying because he had have surgery on his nose because he had to get a prosthetic because he had cancer. And so I just sat and talked with him, you know, and I really, really talked with him, and I gave him my phone number, and he calls me, and we're like pen pals, you know. But I just, that was somebody's grandpa, you know, that was somebody's birthday or Christmas money that I just, like, had to have it, you know, and I think about that stuff a lot. I think I really should get you a turkey and cheese sandwich. You want one? Huh? Turkey?
No.
You're not hungry?
No.
Nate, I'm not understanding why you're not eating, baby.
And I don't know understanding why you want me to eat.
Because you're supposed to eat to live, son. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I am just an emotional mess today, you guys. If you cannot tell, yes, it is that time of the month. Yeah, I am too, you guys. Here, it keeps cutting in and out. My parents always. I know, me too. I know, it's just hard, and I love you guys. I just want you to know that, like, just because we did those things in our past doesn't make us the same person anymore. And that there's things that we can do to help other people, you know, to make up for the things that we did in the past. And that's kind of how I try to look at it. I kind of try to look at it like, you know, by giving back now, it's kind of like helping ease that past away, you know, and, or it helps me, you know, but I just love you guys so much, and I wanted to thank you guys so much for helping me. I'm just super emotional today, but I'm going to get off here because Nate's having a meltdown, and I love you guys, and I hope you have a good day. I love all you guys so, so much. Thank you so much for being my friend. Thank you for helping me stay sober.